Welcome to Give Day Tampa Bay 2017, live from the WEDU studios at the Berkman Family Broadcast Center.
Good morning and welcome to Give Day Tampa Bay 2017. My name is Cathy Unruh and I'll be your host for the next hour of our live streaming webcast. We're here at the WEDU studios in Tampa with representatives from some of the over 500 nonprofits who are participating in this Give Day Tampa Bay. The theme of Give Day is Live Here, Give Here, and making a donation is quick and easy. You just log on to giveday.org, you search for your favorite charity from our list of participants, and when you hit the donate button, you'll fill in your credit card information and make your secure gift. The minimum donation is only $5. Give Day will be going on until midnight tonight, and we will be live streaming from right now, 11 a.m. until 7 p.m. In the next hour, I'll be talking and listening to various nonprofit groups who are making a difference here in Tampa Bay. And right now, we are going to talk to the people behind this, the Community Foundation of Tampa Bay. Marlene Spalton, welcome again.
Good morning.
And we have a special guest, granddaughter Sophia. Hi, Sophia.
Hello.
Thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
And why are you here?
Because it's Gift Day.
And what do we do on Give Day?
We give people things.
And why do we do that?
Because it's good to give. Because it's good to give people them.
Yeah, because they help us, right?
Yes.
Well, thank you for doing that. And you made some gifts already this morning, I understand. Yep?
Yep.
Okay. Marlene, tell us what the goals are this year. You're not doing a specific money amount, but...
Well, we hope to raise a lot of money, but we're really more interested in getting more and more people involved. Everyone can be a giver, and the joy of giving is something we should all have in our lives. Whether you're 6 or 69, it's a good thing to have in your life, to be a giver, to help other people. So we are looking at unique givers and awarding prizes to nonprofits who attract the most unique givers during this 24-hour period of time.
Now, for those who are not on the web all the time, unique giver means different visitors. So
That's
if I
right.
go on 3 times and donate, then I'm still only one.
Just count as one.
So we want to get more and more people involved.
Right. We think it's a great way to introduce people who have not been philanthropic before or who have been and want to show their loyalty and support for their favorite nonprofits. So the more the better. And it's a collective action. It's so important that we all participate in this to show pride in our region, pride in our nonprofits, pride in our communities, that we are communities in which people help one another and support one another and provide wonderful experiences for our community through the arts and culture.
How many Give Days have we had in Tampa Bay thus far?
This is the fourth Give Day, and we've raised more money each year and more donors each year. We're hoping to get 10,000 unique donors this year. That's our mark. So we're hoping to hit that.
And last year, $2 million was raised. It wouldn't be bad to top that
Wouldn't be bad to top that, right.
And as you go on and search your different nonprofits and those to whom you want to donate, it's interesting that a number of them also have, of their own initiative, matching gifts today. So in several instances, if you donate to a nonprofit, you'll be doubling your money today.
That's right. And the one that Sophia donated to this morning, it was a double match. So her $20 turned into $40. And we explained how that works. We really wanted nonprofits to be really creative with their strategies this year. So we actually decided, kind of spur of the moment on launch day, that the Community Foundation would give a prize for the most creative strategy on Give Day. We got several applications that were excellent, many applications that were good, and an independent panel picked the winner. And I think I can tell the winner right now.
Okay, we're announcing it.
So the winner of the Outside the Box prize for creativity and their strategy for Give Day is Beat NB. NB is neuroblastoma, and it's an organization that's trying to cure a terrible childhood cancer. So we're really excited about that. What they're doing is that in a park in downtown Tampa, they have 500 magnetic tiles covering a picture that's been painted there in the park. With every $25 gift, they will remove one of those magnets and give it to the donor. When all the magnets are removed, it'll reveal the picture. So we're real excited about that. We thought that was a really creative way of bringing people together. We hope they get 500 $25 donors and then some, so that we can see what's under those magnetic tiles.
Because we have no idea at this point.
No, I don't. Do you know? I
Nope.
don't. We don't know.
But you'd like to see, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you for being here, and thanks for doing this again to the Community Foundation of Tampa Bay, being behind it, and we wish you much success, of course. Will you be up until midnight tonight watching that leaderboard all along the way?
Absolutely. And I want to say thank you to WEDU. This would not be possible without WEDU, and I think people today will really enjoy watching this live streaming show. And thank you, Cathy, and all the hosts who will be talking to our nonprofits throughout the day.
It's our pleasure, and I want to take this opportunity, too, to invite our viewers to come in and visit. We have a lot going on here, and you're welcome to come. And while our next guests are being seated, let's go to the leaderboard, and we'll get an updated total on your donations so far today. Our next nonprofit is the We Care for Paws Foundation, and as you look at our guests, it will become fairly obvious fairly quickly why that's the name. We have Carol Allard with us and Michael Fernandez. Tell us about you, Carol, about your organization.
I founded We Care for Paws Foundation in 2000, and our focus is on the older animals. And in recent years, we've started to also focus on fostering for military domestic violence victims and also other people in transition. Our goal is to keep the families together, and if we can't keep them together, we find new families for our furry friends.
I want to talk a little bit about how we went from strictly caring for our four-legged friends to caring for our military veterans, domestic violence victims. You are a veteran yourself.
Yes, ma'am. We care for their pets, not for the individuals.
Okay, that's an important distinction.
Yes, it is, because we feel that they should be able to keep their family members together, whether they're two-legged or four-legged. And sometimes it just takes a few months for them to get back on their feet, or if they're deployed, it takes a little bit longer. So we just try to help out as much as we can.
So you will have foster families and so forth to take care of the animals while the other folks are in need.
We have some fosters, but most of the animals live on our 5-acre site, And we have people, volunteers like Mike here, that come out and help us.
And you sometimes get donations to your site, such as this guy.
Yes. We found the copper, that's our name for him, around the Lake Lindsay area in Brooksville, north of Brooksville, over the weekend. And he came bedraggled and hungry and scared. And we babied him and walked him all weekend. And now he's a happy dog.
And he is up for adoption.
Yes. Well, we're trying to find his owner. We're hoping that on the air somebody will see him and recognize him. And if not, yes, he'll be for adoption.
Wonder if we can get him to stand up so we can get a good look at him. Yeah, let everybody see who you are. You're probably missing your family.
Lots of poise, and he's very, very sweet.
And then tell us about this guy right here.
Scully came to us from another organization. He had been, he was a very active dog, and about 5-6 months ago, he all of a sudden couldn't walk. The veterinarian isn't sure if it's from an old injury or not, but he's still available for adoption. He's a very loving dog. He's got a lot of life in him. He just needs to be in his wheelchair a couple times a day, and it takes 2 people. So it is a commitment, but we're looking for fosters or an adopter for Scully.
So you put him in his wheelchair a couple times a day to go out and get his exercise or whatever, but otherwise he's fine just using his 2 front legs.
Yes, he doesn't realize he's disabled at all. He's very active. He's very quick to drag himself around. He prefers to be in the yard. One minute he's in the front of the yard, the next minute he's on the other side of the acreage. So, covering 5 acres, he's not really that disabled.
Tell us how many animals you work with and what money donated today will do for them. I'm sorry, I'm worried. My toes are going to get run over by the wheels. You need to sit still for a minute. Okay, go ahead.
The money we raise today will go for veterinary care, because when we get a foster, a military foster, domestic violence foster in, we completely vet them. Oftentimes they need the vaccinations, spaying, neutering, and we microchip them. And that's where our biggest expense is in taking care of the military fosters and the domestic violence fosters and the homeless fosters.
And give us some sense of how many animals you care for, a year, a month, whatever works for you.
Our numbers are right around 80 dogs at a time. It fluctuates, like during the holidays we get an influx, and then later in the year, usually in the early fall, we'll be down to about 50 dogs.
And Michael, you're a volunteer, and I would assume, as with all nonprofits, volunteers are a welcome addition. What all do you do there?
Well, I walk the dogs, socialize them, feed them, clean their kennels, and just bathe them if they need to be bathed, deflea them, you name it, whatever they need.
So make a pitch to the people who are watching. Why should they donate to this organization?
Because the dog needs you. They need all the help they can get, and they're sometimes overlooked compared to other charities, but the dogs need to be at home, and they're the angels on earth. They need to be cared for too. And they depend on us. They have no way of taking care of themselves.
Last words from you, Carol?
We try to fill the need if we don't have any hard and fast rules. If someone comes to us and they just need to pay a deposit to keep an animal, we try to raise the funds to pay that deposit. Our focus is in keeping the animals with their home, and we have our own rescues as well, but the animals come first.
Okay, well, thank you both for being here. Oh, you want to say one more thing? Quickly.
They make great pets. I have 3 of them.
Okay. Uh-huh. Volunteers become pet parents. Thanks for being here. And while our next guests are coming up, we're going to go back to the leaderboard, and we'll see where we stand right now on total donations for Give Day Tampa Bay 2017 so far. like to join that leaderboard or up the ante of what you've already given this morning, make a donation is quick and easy. You just go to giveday.org. You search for your favorite charity or choose one from the list of more than 500 registered participants. And you can also scroll through the nonprofits by category. When you hit the donate button, you will fill in your credit card information and make your secure gift in a matter of minutes. And the minimum donation is only $5. Our guests right now are from the YMCA of the Suncoast. Welcome, everyone. We have G. Scott Goyer, Dusty Showers, and Sue Carr. Tell us about the YMCA.
So one of the key factors in the YMCA is around helping strengthen our communities. And one of the ways we do that is through our youth development programs that we have. And one of our keys on that is to make sure that every child lives to their fullest God-given potential, and we provide opportunities for that. Our main focus we have is in our middle school programming and teens. And that's what we're here today to talk a little bit about. We have programs that provide safe places for kids to come and to learn life skills and become a leader today and then into the future.
And you brought a video that will help us get a better picture of what's going on with this. Okay, let's roll that video.
Idle hands. They say they're the devil's workshop. Easy targets. Quick to kill time. But give idle hands something to do, a place to go, a purpose. And they're capable of amazing things.
That video gives us a picture, Dusty, of how many different things there are to do at the YMCA. Give us some ideas of what can be done.
Well, the YMCA has been a part of our life for over 15 years, and I've got two daughters that have been a part of the Leaders Club. And it gives us a safe place where we know that the girls can go there, and and we know that everything is going to be okay. Being part of the Leaders Club has really instilled a surprising aspect of my daughters that I never thought that I would see.
What do they do in the Leaders Club?
They do all sorts of projects. They raise money, car washes, fitness. They exercise. General practices of leadership that Sue has been from the beginning, as far as I can remember. Sue's been the biggest part of making sure that they take on responsible activities.
Tell us about it, Sue.
Well, we try to get out into our community as well as within our Y. They put on several events throughout the year for the children in our Y. They do service projects out in the community. We've adopted a shore of Dunedin Causeway that we clean up 4 times a year. The kids work on character development. Physical fitness, huge part of Teen Leaders Club. We want them to be active. We want to set the healthy lifestyle and tone for them now. And just teaching them to be leaders in our community and leaders in our Y.
That's just one program, Scott. And quickly, give us an idea of how many kids, how many programs, how many people get helped, like a year.
Within children in YMCA programs under the age of 17, we have about 50,000 kids that we serve every day or every year within that. Our middle school programming, we have after-school programs, we have teen leaders, youth in government. We average probably about 1,000 to 2,000 kids that are at that age group. We're serving every day through Leaders Club, Youth in Government, and a variety of other programs.
Money given today will go to what?
Teen leaders. So we're trying to support at least 100 kids to participate in any one of our youth leader programs.
And is it fair to say that if they go through the leader program, they come out better adults, more productive members of society based on your experience?
I'd say without a doubt, no doubt it's impacted my kids' lives.
Tell me in what positive ways?
I just love seeing the leadership. It's great seeing people come up to me and tell me about my daughters and the things that they're doing, the character.
What does a child have to do to qualify?
They just have to be age 12 to 18 years old, and eager and willing to open themselves up to the experience. That's really the only qualifications. They don't even have to be a member of our YMCA. I mean, we love kids to come in and experience everything that the Y has to offer.
So there are no performance and no financial parameters. It's just for welcome if there's the capacity.
There is, and we do provide financial assistance for children, youth that can't necessarily go to the Leaders Club events that take place, and that's where they do some of the fundraising to help make that possible. And the money raised today would help offset that cost for those children.
Okay. Well, YMCA of the Suncoast, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. And we are going to go back to our leaderboard once again and take a look at where we stand on donations for Give Day Tampa Bay 2017 as we bring our next guests up to the table. Are business supporters of Give Day Tampa Bay who help make this day possible, and we're going to talk to one of them now. U.S. Amera Bank, and Mark Fernandez is with us. Welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us how and why U.S. Amera Bank got involved.
Well, we are the largest independent bank in Tampa Bay, and we've been involved in community activity for a long, long time, and it's our 10th anniversary. And so as we continue to find ways to make a meaningful impact and to be of service, Give Day turned out to be the perfect opportunity. We find that for all the giving we do and volunteering we do, one of the most valuable things we can do is convene thought leaders, community leaders around a larger impact. And look, Give Day is the ultimate convening. It is this entire community coming together around this common cause for one day to celebrate not only raising dollars, but also telling the story of all of these nonprofits. And being able to be the premier sponsor and tell that story, that's a great privilege.
So tell me specifically what the bank did as premier sponsor. I know give money, support, events. What all did you do?
Well, we decided we really embraced it. There were any number of organic videos that we produced that have gotten an incredible number of views. All of the executives who run our 13 branches, we did a 30-second video, and so it's spliced together in such a way that it's 2 seconds from each of them telling the story. So it's fun things that have gotten thousands and thousands of views, but that's our leadership in the bank taking the time to own it and share it. In all of our branches, there's commitment boards. There's these sunglasses that have the Give Day logo on them. We had a really big party this morning at the West Shore branch from 8 to 9:30. Buddy Brew was out there giving away coffee. The Girl Scouts were giving away cookies, and we're highly involved with them. And, of course, they're hugely involved in Give Day. And then we had media folks out there and our whole senior staff serving coffee. So that was one example of we're going to host it, we're going to tell the story, and invite folks to come and celebrate it with us.
Well, on behalf of all the nonprofits involved, thank you. And I do think you capture the essence of it. It's like Thanksgiving or Christmas or something where you know that everyone is celebrating the same thing.
That's absolutely right. It's about finding those opportunities for community leaders to join with others, and regardless of which cause you care about, they're all wonderful. But let's support them all together and tell the story together.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mark. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it from U.S. America. Thank you. There are lots of ways that individuals can decide that they need to start a nonprofit organization. And let's hear another story about someone deciding that they needed to give back and help out.
Well, the Benedictine sisters have been in this area since 1889. It's quite a story because at that time it was a very small village in San Antonio, Florida, of German immigrants. They needed teachers for their children, and so 5 very brave nuns from Pennsylvania decided they would answer that call. So the sisters started out in education to this day, though their mission and ministries have changed to some degree. Education is still a big part of what they do. They look to the sisters for those prayers, and of course they look to the sisters for all the different kinds of ministries that they give to the community here, close by, and throughout the United States. So I feel blessed to have learned myself about the Benedictine philosophy, and I would suggest this little humble notebook was written in very plain language, and it's very interesting because it very much is something that we all need today in this world.
Our next guests are from the Glazer Children's Museum, and we have Kate White and Ryan Gonzalez. Welcome.
Good morning.
Tell us about the museum itself.
Okay, definitely. We consider ourselves like a learning play laboratory for kids. So it's an opportunity, we create the environment and then the kids come in and actually play and learn and really get that experiential and imaginative play.
What age children?
Basically 10 and under. Mm-hmm. So a whole range.
And for those who don't know, it's right in downtown Tampa, next to the Tampa Museum of Art. But today you're raising funds for a special program. Is that correct?
Yes, our Sunshine Sunday program, which is very near and dear to our heart, and I think having Give Day is a great platform for this because it does serve our special needs, families and children, our caregivers, and it's a special time where we close the museum for those families. We turn the lights down low, we provide sensory kits, an experience guide so they can really experience the museum in a way that works for them. And so it's very close to our hearts because we consider ourselves a museum for all. And so the more opportunities we have to raise crucial funds in this area, it really serves all of us, and so we're really excited about the platform to do it.
And for those who might not be familiar with the challenges, from what you're describing, I'm assuming that a fair number of folks are autistic or somewhere on the spectrum, which explains why sensory levels need to come down. Is that correct? Why you...
Definitely, and I'll let Kate speak to that because I think, for us, we provide over $400,000 a year in free admissions and specialty programming for our children and families, for military families, for Title I schools, all through our social responsibility fund. And Sunshine Sunday fits into that and really affecting those kids with autism, but then also families with special needs, like kids who are in a wheelchair and those sort of families.
Yeah, so in the very building of our exhibits, we had to keep in mind accessibility, like she said, someone in a wheelchair or, a kid that might have some sort of sensory challenges. That's something that we considered in the very structure of our building. But also, we have been for a few years now an autism-friendly certified business. And so we're very excited. This is so timely to be raising funds for this right now because Bob Buckhorn had just mentioned that he, has now a priority to make Tampa an autism-friendly city. So we are just so happy that, the whole city and Bob Buckhorn has the same priorities that we do.
Mayor Bob Buckhorn,
That's
for
correct,
those who
yes.
might not know. I think everybody knows that. But
He's out there.
Yes,
just a little bit.
Maybe folks from up in Hernando might be like, who's that guy? I don't know. So why should we give to you?
I think we serve all, and I think that's the key here. Is we don't get stuck in just serving schools or helping military families with free admissions throughout the year. We're here for everyone, and we're a resource for the community. We're the second largest children's museum in the Southeast region, and we're here to give kids those experiences and those opportunities to play things they can't do necessarily in the classroom, but ways we can work with the schools to work with their curriculum. And so I think we want to be a partner for all, and I think that's what Give Day is all about, is how the community supports one another. And so this is very special to us to be a part of this big day.
How many years has the museum been in existence? It's not that old.
No, it opened in 2010 in its current building.
And it continues to grow every year and add new programs and...
Absolutely. We just have so many great programs. We have a new exhibit coming, which is a great thing to talk about right now with raising money for our special needs programs, because it's called Forts, and is really an opportunity for kids to have narrative and imaginative play. It's for every accessibility, level and ability, and it allows children to set the parameters of their own play.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and good luck to you on Give Day, the Glazer Children's Museum. Thanks for being here.
Glad to be here.
We appreciate it. And our next guests are getting ready to come up. We're going to go back to the leaderboard and get an updated total on where we stand. Right now, donations are at $461,273. An important note for those of you watching us right now, the nonprofit with the most online donations donors between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. will get the $2,000 Power Lunch Hour Prize provided by TICO. So you can go to giveday.org to support your favorite nonprofit now and maybe help them work their way toward that prize. We have with us now some folks from Directions for Living, and you are April Lott. You're the president and CEO.
Yes.
Tell us what you do.
Well, Directions for Living has been around for 35 years, and we do a whole lot of things, but we primarily serve 17,000 families in the Tampa Bay area. We provide mental health services, we provide child safety service, family preservation services, homeless services, and what we're really here so proud of to talk about today is really our adoption services that we provide, where we help match children with their forever families.
So let's introduce the Hollingsworths. And Ty, why don't you tell us about your family? Who's who?
Tell them who we are.
So we're like the...
That's okay.
That's perfect.
That's okay.
That's your sister. What's your sister's name?
Taylor.
And what's your brother's name?
Talon.
And Mommy and Daddy, their first names are?
Casey and Josh.
And we understand that your sister is very special, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because we adopted her a few months ago.
Perfect.
Good job, baby.
Tell us about the adoption process.
Yes. So we decided, we had 2 boys that we wanted to adopt. It's always been on our heart, and we decided to adopt locally through foster care. And we did everything we had to do, and then we started looking, and we found her picture on the Heart Gallery website. We reached out to through the Heart Gallery, and we found out that she was part of Directions for Living. And they quickly responded. Mm-hmm. We had an amazing match meeting, which can be very emotional and nerve-wracking, and they made it where it's something we're going to remember forever. I will always remember sitting in that meeting, and everyone that was involved in her life was there. She was in foster care since birth, and they were all there so loving and supportive, and they had her best interest at heart. And I'll never forget that we left jokingly saying, we'll be waiting for your phone call in the parking lot. And normally that doesn't happen. And we were sitting in the parking lot and we got the call. And every person that was involved in her life was on that call because they wanted to be a part of her being matched with us. It was an amazing experience. She is our everyday example that miracles happen. She's a miracle child. She was born at 23 weeks. She needed a lot of interventions early on. And her case manager, I'm going to try not to cry, but it's hard to. Her case manager, Melissa, was amazing because everything that she needed, she got early on, which is key to her doing so well. She's at an above age level. And she's just a beautiful little girl that we love so much.
And Josh, how is it to have now 2 females in the household?
Oh boy, I'm so glad you asked. Well, you know, when you think life can't get any better or more perfect, you insert precious little Taylor, and she has just been a blessing that we could never fully describe. It's amazing at how, you know, not only for Casey and I to be able to anticipate and look forward to having an addition like her, but to watch the boys and how there was just an immediate connection. When they met her for the very first time, they couldn't stop smiling. They couldn't stop hugging her and kissing her, and we almost had to like pull them off because they were just so excited. And
sister.
she fits in.
So this is a lovely example of the positive things that come out of your work. But quickly, you went through a lot of the services that you provide. And do you have foster housing facilities?
Yes, we do. We have foster families, foster parents that we work with, and that our children in the foster care system have been placed in. We work with relatives and guardians as well, and where we can reunify safely, we reunify, and when we can keep families together and prevent them from even coming into the foster care system or into the child welfare system, we do that as well.
And I want to just quickly sum up some of those services. So outside of foster and adoption, there's all kinds of social services for families who need help.
Exactly. So we provide mental health services, substance abuse services, intensive in-home services, homeless services. You know, our belief really is that all children, right, deserve a happy, healthy, and safe environment, and we want to do that certainly with birth families when we can. We want to strengthen them, and when that is not an option for whatever reason, we want to strengthen our children by placing them or matching them with their forever families.
Okay, directions for living, and thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
Enjoy the journey. You enjoy your sister, okay? Thanks for being
Appreciate
here.
it.
I can see she's a big fan of peanut butter crackers.
Yes, she is today.
And we are right now going to go back to the leaderboard. We like to keep you posted on where we stand on the donations, hopefully to inspire you to go on to giveday.org and make your gift. Our next nonprofit is Catholic Charities Pinellas Hope. And Rhonda Abbott, you are the director. Tell us what Pinellas Hope does.
Thank you. Pinellas Hope is one of the largest emergency shelters in Pinellas County. We take people who are homeless and on the streets throughout our street outreach teams. We also have cottages. They are something new that we have just started with. They're containers made into 3 bedrooms. So it's air conditioned, has its privacy, has a window. And then lastly, we have a permanent supportive housing. We have 156 apartments on the property as well.
Where's the property?
It's in the Pinellas Park. Just 126th Avenue off of 49th Street.
So you're always growing your capacity, it sounds like.
Always growing. We started in 2007 with 250 tents. And so from there, and just one little trailer as the intake trailer. And now we have multiple modulars on the campus. We still have tents. The cottages are going in, and all the apartments.
And Millicent Perry is a current resident. What brought you to Pinellas Hope?
I'm just one of many, many millions of people all over America. And I lost my house. I lost half of my income. I couldn't afford to maintain. So I got on the phone and I said, there must be somewhere I can go. And through Safe Harbor, which is another shelter for homeless people, I was told that I didn't qualify there, but they sent me to Pinellas Hope. When I first arrived, we had an intake, and during that meeting, they gave us, information about all the things that were offered. If once we come into the program, I was accepted, and then there was the walk to where you're going to be staying, and when they took me back along with about 50 other people to a tent area. I came from a house. I never slept in a tent in my life, and I can't do this. And I thought I was being punished, but I don't think I was being punished. I think I was being led to help other people, and that's why I'm here today, because I stayed in those tents, and it wasn't comfortable. And even though you were in a safe place, because Pinellas Hope do offer safe environment, they have security there, it's gated, and there's good food. There's always people bringing food and clothes.
Besides being able to live there, you mentioned other programs.
Well, that's only one other program that I know of, and that's the one that because I never had been homeless in my life, so that's only the Safe Harbor place.
But Rhonda, I mean, you provide job counseling and so forth.
Yes, we have a lot of counseling services.
Tell us about that, Rhonda.
Yeah, and actually, Millicent was our first individual who stayed in our cottage, our first cottage, and she now lives in an apartment of her own.
Oh, you got to move up.
Yes, that's what I was trying to get to after sleeping in the tents, and then I was able to, you stay, you follow the guidelines, and you do well.
We have very limited time, so what I want to do is explain that besides the housing.
Sure, and we do have a lot of wraparound services and a lot of partners with us. Directions, who are just here, they are our partners providing mental health therapy. We are partners with the school system. They have teachers. We are able to help people get their GED, work, employment. We have employment counseling, resume writing with Goodwill. We have housing staff who help people get housed in the community. Mm-hmm. So just a wide variety of services in one spot.
What's your goal?
Finish my book. I have an apartment now. I've lived in the tents, and I was moved into the cottages, and I'm telling you, it was a blessing to see those cottages. And
what do you mean,
we
finish
need more.
Your book?
I'm writing a book about my homeless situation and what I went through.
And then, do you hope to move out eventually?
Yes, of course. I mean, but I like my apartment. I pay rent. It's not free to live in the apartments.
And that's good for people to know too. But it's based on ability.
Yes, it's affordable. It's affordable and according to my income, and all that's on Pinellas Hope property. So
okay, so it's Catholic Charities Pinellas Hope. Best of luck to you with your book.
Thank you.
I hope that works out, and thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Thanks for being with us.
Yes, thank you very much.
We appreciate it. And we're going to go back to the leaderboard as our next guests are coming up to be seated and tell us about their nonprofit. There are a number of Give Day incentives and prizes to encourage you to donate. The Tampa Bay Raise Education and Youth Development Prize of $2,500 each is awarded to both the small nonprofit and the large nonprofit in the Education and Youth Development category, with the most online donors today. So give generously. Help support education and youth development in the Tampa Bay area, and you can go to giveday.org. Right now we are turning to, I'm going to get these names right, Mark Forzini, Susan Ryan, and Maggie Lewers, and we're going to talk about both the St. Pete Opera and the Tampa Bay Symphony because you, Mark, are involved with both.
Yes, I feel very blessed to be the conductor of both of these wonderful organizations. Let's start with the St. Pete Opera. St. Pete Opera, we're in our 11th season, and we've had the ability to operate in the black for all of that time, so we're very proud of that and our growth, and we produce high-quality professional opera in downtown St. Petersburg. We do 4 fully staged productions every year. We've got Into the Woods coming up, which is a musical a lot of people love, and also the opera Tales of Hoffman. And in the last couple of years, as we've grown as an organization, we've started reaching out a lot more to students in the schools, and we're very happy to be making lots of in-school visits to elementary and middle schools, introducing kids to opera.
Yeah, because the goal is to keep opera not just a art form that used to be, but an art form that wins excitement for the future.
Exactly.
And you can probably tell us about the symphony.
Yes, well, the Tampa Bay Symphony is in its 30th year. So, and part of our mission is that we have had a young artist competition every one of those years. So we're promoting youth throughout the state of Florida with that competition. We've also instituted a new competition just this year that we're very excited about, and we've even changed our mission statement to reflect that we have a composition contest now.
And Maggie, where's the symphony based?
We are in the Tampa Bay area. We have 3 concerts for each concert series. We perform series in the fall, the winter, and the spring. We have a concert tonight at the Palladium Theater in St. Petersburg at 8 o'clock. You can get tickets at the door. And we rehearse in the Tampa Bay area. We rehearse once a week.
So for these students and the contests and so forth, from what geographic area can those students enter?
Well, there's 2 contests the Tampa Bay Symphony has. One is a young artist concerto competition for students under the age of 22, and they all come from the state of Florida.
So all around the state.
Yes, our composition contest is open to anybody of any age, and we had submissions from all across the country for this year's.
So it's not just a regional, you're based
Correct.
Regionally, but your reach is beyond the state.
Yeah, we had
even.
submissions from California, from Indiana, and the winner is from Alabama. He's from Dothan, Alabama, and he'll be at the concert tonight to hear his work premiered.
Out of all the many nonprofits and the many causes that people have to choose from, why choose the opera or the symphony?
Well, both of these organizations give people the option to come to a live performance and to experience the joy and magic of what each organization has to give. With the opera, you have all the elements of the theater combined. You have a story with acting and singing, orchestra, chorus, lights, costumes, and all of this. With the Tampa Bay Symphony, you have the passion that these musicians play with. It's a volunteer orchestra, so everybody is there because they choose to be there. And these people play the music with so much heart and soul.
And you depend on donations to keep going.
Of
because
course.
Without paying
Yes.
your musicians even.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, and we need the performing arts because that's what makes us human. You know, there's a slogan at the museum in New York City that says, you know, what separates humans from other animals is the ability to create art and express ourselves through art. So I think that supporting the arts is a great way to show your support in the community on Give Day Tampa Bay.
Any last words from the symphony?
Hope you can make our concert.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be great. And we have Jeff Moulter, concertmaster of the Florida Orchestra, playing the Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto tonight, and he's sensational.
That's 8 o'clock at the Palladium in downtown St. Pete. Right. Okay, good luck to you both with Give Day and with tonight. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you very much.
And back to the leaderboard one more time. We like to keep a running look at these donations to see how much is coming up. We are up to $6,508. That's wonderful. say the number from the leaderboard again, $658,000 plus at this time, which is great. And our next nonprofit is with the National Alliance on Mental Illness in Hillsborough. And you're the president of the board, Karen
Hi.
Fredericks. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us here.
Tell us what NAMI, which is your acronym, what do you do?
So we provide support, education, and advocacy, and also navigation for families who have a loved one who has mental illness. What we like to rather call it is brain diseases, and their families. So we have support groups, three of them now in the county, with looking to do more. We have education forums that we do, and those happen by way of going to the community, asking them what they're interested in, and we bring those speakers in to speak on those topics. We look to have advisories in those communities that can help us to really tap into what the community needs are there. Our navigation is one through a number of ways. One, we have a warm line, and so people can call in, and unfortunately not a hotline, but a warm line, and we provide support to the families. We don't want them to feel like they're alone, and the individual who is also struggling. And so we will help them navigate to programs that are in the community other than ours. We have a good handle on what those programs are. And if we don't know of something, we're out there looking for them.
Mental illness, we are growing culturally in awareness of that as an illness. What do you see changing culturally?
Well, I think we're beginning to hopefully stamp out the stigma piece of it, which allows people to reach out for help. So the more discussions that there are, the more that you see it on the television, the more that you see even sitcoms with, facing some of those issues, it helps people to talk about it. We develop the conversation through everything that we do. And I think that will help, but we have a long way to go.
I'm sorry?
There is a statement that I heard just recently by a psychologist, and when she starts her class, she has it up on the board, and it's no health without mental health. And so what we're really saying is that the body is all one. It's, we've looked to separate it out and think of it as different, but it really is, everything is affects. So whether you have a physical illness of cancer, and that's going to cause depression, diabetes, it causes depression. That becomes an emotional kinds of behavioral thing that one needs to address.
And when you say we prefer to call it brain disease, is that a term created by NAMI, or is that a term that's being used more widely?
It's being used more widely.
And so I have a question about that. How then does one differentiate between, okay, we mean mental illness versus brain tumor, brain cancer? How is that differentiated? Or are they all a disease of the brain, so no need?
That would be my take on it. Truly, that when we start to look at Alzheimer's or dementia, or we look at Parkinson's, any of those diseases that start to impact on one's ability, it causes emotionality. It causes sometimes even, if you look at some of our Alzheimer's patients, and they become somewhat belligerent. Well, how different is that? Their thinking capacities are impacted. Well, that's the same. So I think the more that we can make it a one and all, the better we're going to be for it.
And it sounds like part of your main message and goal and mission is to let people know they're not alone. It is okay to reach out. It is fine to get help, and it is available.
It is available. Again, in the state of Florida, we're 49th in the country, which means our advocacy has to be very loud and clear, that we need to increase and maybe change up some of how we deliver services. We still act in silos, being that we have individual kinds of programming, and the linkage to that sometimes is absent. So we sit on, as our advocacy piece, we sit on cross-systems meetings, meaning all of the different hospitals and mental health clinics. We sit in those meetings, and we are the voice of the families and the individuals who are suffering.
Well, they are grateful. NAMI of Hillsborough, thank
Yes.
you very much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Good luck to you today. And we are about ready to go to our lightning round, but as we prepare for that, we're going to take another look at the leaderboards. And we're here for the lightning round. This is the time when nonprofits get 30 seconds to tell us about their organization and why you should support them on Give Day Tampa Bay. So I'm talking fast and I'll set the example. You do the same, okay? From the NOPE Task Force, Angela McHenry, what do you do?
We prevent and empower young kids about the dangers of substance abuse. I lost my 19-year-old son after his graduation from high school. While he was in college, he started using Xanax. It is something so dear to my heart, and I joined NOPE, and I'm grateful every day we can get into the middle and high schools to teach children to avoid this tragic. Just the consequences are dramatic, and today my family and I suffer every day from the loss of our son.
Oh, I'm sure you do. And I'm sorry to confine that story to 30 seconds, but God bless you for turning your grief into good works for others. Thank you. Thank you for being here. The XO Factor, Inc., Bethany.
XO Factor works with federal and state inmates coming home, find employment and resources and alternative paths to success to help their families connect.
People coming home from?
Prison, federal and state prisons, find employment. They have a hard time. Reentry is very difficult, and we need to have that linkage prior to them being released. So we work with them while they're incarcerated, and when they're released, we connect back up to provide those.
Which helps all of society.
Yes.
Okay. Tracy Griffith is with CharityLink.Gives. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Brand new nonprofit in the area. What I do, I'm actually a nurse by trade, but I saw a need for local small charities and nonprofits needing more help. They don't have that marketing department, that promotions department, or help with fundraising. So that's what I do. I help with fundraising, kind of fill the gap in some of the staffing issues that some of the places may have, is to have anyone that can go out and do community relations, that sort of thing. Also help with some leadership training for these nonprofits who might not be able to afford some of the larger companies that do it.
So you must love Give Day because it's great exposure.
I do. It's great to see all these people here. It's wonderful to see all the local nonprofits. It's amazing.
Thank you. And from the Community Food Pantry, Monica Wilson.
Hi. The Community Food Pantry, we strive to serve people with dignity and grace by providing groceries, nutritional information, nursing information, and family counseling. We're on task to serve 30,000 people this year.
Where? Where are you?
We are in Northwest Tampa. We serve all of the Northwest Quarter, all the way to the Pasco County line north, all the way to the Pinellas County line.
Are there income requirements?
There are not income requirements. If you're hungry, we're going to feed you and take care of you.
Okay. Everybody did a great job. We got it done in 2 minutes. Thank you very much. And we're going to wrap up this hour with one